Okay, this is going to be a bit of an obscure video because this is not the worst game of all time or anything like that, but this is a very funny game that I found when researching another video that I just want to talk about, so that's what I'm going to do in today's video. This was the 2009 match between the Lions and the St. Louis Rams in what was one of the just worst games of football ever played. Not like worst to watch, but just worst in terms of the talent that was on the field. The Lions were fresh off their 0-16 team, so they did have a rookie Matthew Stafford who was still trying to figure out how football works, and Calvin Johnson, who very much knew how football worked. And the Rams, on their side, were currently 0-7, desperately trying to avoid what the Lions did of going 0-16. And they would play in a very, we'll call it a defensive battle, if you want to. In the 22 possessions of this game, there were 12 punts and 18 total possessions that resulted in 0 points out of the 22 total possessions. Both teams did have long drives. The Rams had a long drive in the first that resulted in a field goal. The Lions right here, so you see how they got the ball all the way to the 12-yard line, and this is where they would get a score. Watch as you see. You're going to be sitting here and saying, wait a second, I thought you said they're going to get a score. They just threw an interception right here. Well, no, I did not misspeak. I did not show the wrong clip by mistake. The Detroit Lions would get their only points of the first 3 quarters by this play, an interception that resulted in a safety after the intercepting player ran it back into his own end zone. So yeah, this game has gotten very late 2000s Lions. With a minute left at the end of the half, the St. Louis Rams, again, they need a win right here. The Lions have their win, so they've already done more than they did all of the previous season, but a 54-yard field goal attempt with a minute left. Bit of a tough play to make sure you convert, so the Rams going to have a trick up their sleeve. As you see, they go for the fake field goal, and this works, and they're going to actually score a touchdown on this play. That allows them to go up a clean 8 points, 10-2 at the end of the half. Heading over to the fourth quarter, yes, the Lions still with just 2 points in the fourth quarter, and what's hilarious about watching late 2000s Lions footage is like you'll just see some of the worst football you've ever seen in your life, and then you'll see this. Watch as Stafford's going to take the snap, run a play action, and just fire one up to Calvin Johnson, who just makes like a Calvin Johnson play, is able to make the grab. Then Matthew Stafford actually does a good job of rushing into the end zone, and just like that, the Lions, after converting the 2-point attempt, would tie the game. And then we saw like 7 punts in a row. Finally, Steven Jackson, remember him? Yeah, underrated player. He actually had a good game in this one. One of the real key players. He was able to rush into the end zone, and they would ultimately win the game after that with a score of 17-10. The Rams would only win that one game all season long, so the Lions had a chance to maybe put another team in the 0-16 club, couldn't quite make it happen. Eventually, the Browns would join them, but it took a handful of years. The Lions would also only go on to win one more game after that. So outside of this game, there were only 2 combined wins the rest of the way for these teams. One was prior to this game, one was before it. So 3 total wins by these 2 teams at the end of the year. Just kind of a funny thing. I'll put the box scores next to me. You see Matthew Stafford, 168 yards on 33 attempts, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Very similar to Mark Bugler, who had 176 yards on 35 attempts, also no touchdowns, 1 interception. Somehow the best quarterback of this game was the Rams kicker. You do see Steven Jackson had some nice stuff. And amazingly, they had 150 rushing yards. Steven Jackson had 149 of them. That's pretty impressive stuff. So yeah, hey, I don't know. I guess that's what's to make of this video? What was the point of it? I don't know. Steven Jackson was good. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Thank you for watching this silly video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.